Her voice was sugar-coated venom, light enough to sound innocent, sharp enough to cut bone. "Oh, the wedding? That was yesterday, just for special people." A pause. A smile I could hear, even through the phone. I stared at the screen, at her name flashing like an insult, and all I said was, "I see." Not anger, not hurt, just a quiet, steady hum inside my chest. A cold, familiar hum, the one that arrives right before a storm. I looked out over the lake from my rented place in Geneva. Morning light touching the water. Coffee cooling beside me. Ignored. Excluded. Erased. For years I paid her rent, her university fees, her car repairs, her trips. And she thanked me once, loudest when she needed more. Her mother, my wife, encouraged it. "Be patient," she said. "She's young. She needs support." Support. Funny word. A week later, the girl had the audacity to call again. Panicked this time. "The rent and university payment is overdue. Did you transfer it?" I breathed in quietly. Calm. "Didn't I tell you?" I answered, voice chilling the air. "You must have been busy, celebrating with the special people." I could hear her confusion, her throat closing. Then a shout from the background. My daughter-in-law, loud and entitled. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." I leaned back, eyes half closed. "Enjoy," I whispered, ending the call. They thought money was love, that my silence was weakness. They were wrong. 3 days later, her mother called, then her aunt, then her grandmother, then her friends, then her. Each call sharper, more desperate. 71 missed calls later, I posted a single photograph. A villa overlooking snowy Swiss hills. Marble, glass, warm fire glowing inside. Silence followed. Then chaos. The first ring came seconds after. They had never known who I truly was. They were about to learn. I met my wife when she was fragile, recovering from loss. She had a daughter, young, bitter, resentful of life. I stepped in gently, offered stability, security, a future. I paid for everything, not because they asked, but because I believed in building a family. Or so I thought. The girl learned fast, how to cry on command, how to act pitiful, how to slice with entitlement disguised as innocence. My wife defended her always. "You don't understand her," she would say. "She's been through a lot." So had I, but I didn't weaponize my scars. Years of quiet generosity turned into expectation, then into entitlement, and finally into dismissal. The wedding was a symbol, a line drawn, a declaration that I was useful, not loved. They never wanted a father, just a wallet. I saw it now, so painfully clear I could almost laugh. But pain doesn't kill you, it sharpens you. I moved silently, a ghost in my own life, observing patterns, recording behaviors, tracing lines of manipulation. I noticed messages between them, screens lighting up with laughter when they thought I wasn't looking. "He's old, he won't understand. Just ask again, he always pays. Mom, you should marry better next time." Not whispered, typed, sent. Screenshots live forever. I kept them. I reviewed bank transfers, expenses I didn't remember approving, transactions disguised as emergencies. My wife had always looked relieved when the bills vanished. Now I understood why. Meanwhile, I worked. Quietly, methodically, selling investments, liquidating assets, relocating funds to accounts they couldn't touch. They never asked where money came from. They only noticed when it stopped. Little by little, I disappeared from their dependence. Not physically, financially, emotionally, strategically. One quiet evening, I requested statements from her university, her bank, her rental agency. Numbers don't lie, people do. The truth arrived in email form, cold and official. She hadn't paid tuition with my funds, she diverted it. Her rent? Covered by a boyfriend she hid. My money used for parties, trips, luxury bags, all while telling people I was controlling, stingy, emotionally distant. A villain in a story she invented. Because victims earn sympathy, and sympathy earns money. I didn't rage, didn't shout. I printed the documents, placed them neatly in a folder. I walked into the house, my house, and found them in the kitchen, laughing. Her mother froze first. She always sensed storms before they broke. I placed the folder on the counter between us. No words, just evidence. The girl flipped through the pages, her face drained, lips trembling. Silence thickened until she croaked, You checked?" I met her eyes. "I trusted," I said. "And you traded trust for convenience." Her mother whispered my name like a plea. But pleas are for those who care. I didn't yell, I didn't break, I simply stood straight and spoke quietly. "As of today, I withdraw all financial support." Her scream cracked the air, raw and panicked. "You can't do that! I need that money!" Need, not appreciate, not value. Entitlement roared louder than shame. My wife stepped forward, voice shaking. "We are family!" "Were," I corrected gently. Her knees softened. She understood the past tense. I slid another sheet across the counter, property transfer documents. "I purchased a new home," I said, "abroad. You aren't on anything." Confusion, fear, realization. Then I showed the final image, the villa. Their faces twisted. "That's mine?" she whispered. "No," I smiled slightly. "It's not yours." Complete collapse. A lifetime of assumptions evaporating in seconds. True punishment isn't cruelty, it's clarity. I walked out that night. No slammed doors, no goodbyes, just silence and cold air. They tried to call, cry, threaten, bargain. I didn't answer. I sat by the Swiss window again, watching snowfall like quiet absolution. People reveal themselves when money leaves the room. Respect dies first. Love, if it ever existed, follows. What remained? Me, unbroken, untouched by their desperation. They thought gratitude was optional, that loyalty could be rented. They were wrong. I didn't take revenge, I simply removed myself. And sometimes